And now at 5, a man accused of harassing his ex and then getting shot by Carmel police is sentenced today.
The strong words from the judge and the punishment he's receiving. Plus, lawsuit planned against Martinsville schools.
The reason attorneys say more students and their families will be joining their suit.
Just a few showers on radar this evening. I'll have a closer look and look ahead to a warm up and storm chances in the 7-day.
LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are in town taking on the red-hot Pacers. We preview this one coming up. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
A man shot by Carmel police took a plea deal this afternoon for ramming a police car and harassing his ex-girlfriend.
Rich Nye had his camera in the courtroom when Daniel Castillo pled guilty and received his sentence.
Daniel Castillo pled guilty to 4 charges: attempted battery, resisting law enforcement, drunk driving, and harassment for the incident at the Avon Apartments on Old Meridian Street in Carmel on August 11th last year.
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
6 other charges were dismissed. Evidence showed that Castillo called his ex-girlfriend 190 times over 4 hours, then knocked on her apartment door for 20 minutes.
And sent her repeated text messages and made repeated phone calls with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm, but with no intent of legitimate communication.
Carmel police found Castillo sitting in a car in the apartment parking garage. When police blocked him in, Castillo rammed the police car. A Carmel officer fired 3 shots, hitting Castillo in the right shoulder.
She dove in a big way into the pool of criminal behavior. If you would like to make a statement, I'm listening.
I'm okay, Judge. I'm just grateful to be still alive and everything, so.
Thank you.
The plea deal sentences Castillo to 1.5 years in prison, plus 2 years community corrections, then 1.5 years probation.
I hope that the sentence that is being meted out with this plea agreement are the types of things that is going to create a difference in your life.
Castillo has been held here at the Hamilton County Jail since the incident last August. And with credit for good time, he only has about 3 months left of incarceration. He'll probably serve that here at the jail rather than being moved to a state prison. Castillo will be allowed to serve home detention in New Mexico, where he drove from to Indiana to harass his ex-girlfriend. In Noblesville, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Now, Daniel Castillo was also ordered to pay $600 restitution to his ex-girlfriend. His driver's license is suspended for 1 year when he gets out of jail.
It's now 5:01 on this Wednesday. It is 54 degrees out there, and there's a live look downtown. Looks pretty good. We got some clouds in there. Is probably keeping it from being as a little bit warmer as we'd like, Angela.
Yes. Now we add some sunshine and a southwesterly wind. We're really going to warm things up.
There we go.
Yes, we're going to go into the 70s come Friday and the upcoming weekend, but we have another day in the 50s and another day with a few spotty showers. We're in the 50s now. You can see a nice mix of sun and clouds. As expected, sunshine, early clouds building this afternoon, and under some of those clouds, we have a few spotty showers. Promised a local look with radar. We look north of Indianapolis to find these spotty showers from Logansport to Frankfort, Kokomo to Tipton, moving toward Anderson, in between Hartford City, Muncie, Newcastle, and Richmond. This will continue between now and about sunset. All of this is daylight driven, so once the sun goes down, those showers will fall apart. A mainly cloudy sky left over this evening. It's a 7:30 tip for Lakers and Pacers. Temperatures this evening in the 50s.
All right, thanks so much, Angela. And if you want to keep an eye on the rain chances in your neighborhood specifically, that's why you need to get the live Doppler 13 weather app. You can get real-time radar straight to your phone.
At this hour, police tell us they're looking for 2 more people tonight who are now charged in that recent bust on the west side of the SUR 13 gang. Metro Police tell us that arrest warrants are now active for 16-year-old Anthony Nanez and Freddie Martinez. Court records say that Nanez is posing with guns on his social media, and both are now charged with criminal organizational activity with a firearm. It was just a week ago that police arrested 7 men all across the city that they believe are members of this gang, which claims allegiance to the Mexican mafia. Court records say that gang members use social media to sell guns and to sell drugs.
Well, new tonight, an Indianapolis law firm is announcing plans to sue Martinsville schools over allegations of former teachers sexually abused multiple teenage boys.
The boys are accusing Brittany Fortenberry of drugging them, forcing them to have group sex, and paying hundreds of dollars for explicit pictures. Our Alex Almanza just talked with the attorneys, and Alex, this is a tough case. What are they demanding right now?
Anne Marie Felicia, lawyers from Wagner Reese are asking the district to pay a 13-year-old victim $700,000, and that's per sexual assault, in addition to compensation for what they're calling trauma, mental anguish, and emotional distress. Now, in a tort claim notice to Martinsville schools, attorneys list their clients Jane and John Doe as parents to their son, David Doe. Now, the law firm alleges the school district was negligent in hiring and retaining Fortenberry and should have known that she was a, quote, sexual predator. Now, the law firm says 10 boys between the ages of 13 and 16 were abused by Fortenberry while working as a substitute teacher for Martinsville schools. Now, in a release from Martinsville schools last week, they say that all new employees go through a full background check. They claim to have found no criminal activity when hiring Fortenberry, and no anonymous tips were made. Now, lawyers at Wagner Reese say that this series of incidents pushed David's life into chaos and emotional trauma.
Most of the kids have not even come forward until after the charges were filed last month in February. They're too scared, they're humiliated, they think they did something wrong. And quite frankly, some of these kids have been threatened. The predator's husband went to jail for intimidation because he threatened to slaughter the kids if they did anything. Imagine if you're a young adolescent boy, ages 13 to 16, and somebody says they're essentially going to kill you, right? Who wants to come forward?
Now, we reached out for additional comment from Martinsville schools and are waiting to hear back. According to their academic calendar, they're on spring break right now. But the district says in a release last week, they say Fortenberry was fired from Martinsville schools early last year, not related to sexual misconduct allegations. She then worked for Eminence Community Schools, where she was suspended following those sexual misconduct allegations. So obviously a really disturbing case. This tort claim notice was filed to Martinsville schools. They have 10 days to respond to this. So this is not an actual lawsuit per se. This is more just kind of a plan to lay out the lawsuit, and then if they don't settle within 90 days, on that 91st day, they will file that lawsuit against Martinsville schools.
All right, we know you'll keep us updated. Thanks, Alex. Yep. A proposed bill that would ban transgender women from playing on women's college sports teams here in Indiana back today, front and center.
And lawmakers who sit on a Senate committee debated changes to the bill. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here to break down today's debate. Emily?
Well, it's no secret that House Bill 1041 has brought about quite a bit of debate, with people on both sides of this issue firmly entrenched in where they stand. Now, members of the Senate's Education and Career Development Committee heard testimony about this bill from the public last week, along with the bill's author, Republican State Representative Michelle Davis. Today, lawmakers on that same committee were able to offer changes to this bill, proposed changes in the way of amendments. One of those amendments from Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora called for eliminating language in the bill altogether.
If this policy moves forward and trans kids are not able to play professionally, then what is the alternative for them? Are we considering them less than humans?
That was the question Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora had for other lawmakers on the Senate's Education and Career Development Committee. Kadora proposed an amendment to eliminate the language in House Bill 1041 that would ban transgender women from playing on women's college sports teams in Indiana. Instead, Kadora's amendment called for a study committee to look at what he called gaps in services for the state's LGBTQ+ students.
So if this bill is truly about not discriminating, then why are we excluding some students and including others?
That amendment was defeated along party lines, along with another amendment from Kadora that called for equal pay between male and female student athletes.
I appreciate the concept, but this is not the place to take an amendment of this magnitude. In my my belief is, and I think you I hope you agree with me, I'll put it that way.
Democratic State Senator J.D. Ford offered amendments too, including one that called for prohibiting a student athlete from being required to show their private parts to prove their gender, if that came into question in regards to being able to play on a team. That amendment was also defeated along party lines, leading to this question from Democratic State Senator Andrea Hunley.
Now, as it stands, there's no protection in this bill for our college athletes in the state of Indiana, so they could be required to show their genitals or any other private part of their body to determine their biological sex.
Hunley said that was a concern expressed by constituents about the bill. 1041 sponsor in the Senate, Republican State Senator Stacey Donato, addressed that concern.
I don't think the bill states they are required to do that. I disagree with your interpretation on that.
So today's amendments, 6 in all offered by Democrats, all defeated along party lines. House Bill 1041 passed out of the committee today, also on party lines by a vote of 9-4. It now heads to the full Senate for a second look where proposed changes could still be made in the process of trying to get this bill across the finish line. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Thanks, Emily. And disciplinary charges are filed against a Howard County judge tonight. The Indiana Commission on Judicial Qualifications alleges Judge Matthew Elkin shows an inability to perform duties competently and acted in a way that did not promote public confidence in the judicial system. He has been charged with 9 counts of misconduct. Elkin supervises the drug court and reentry court, and the commission alleges that he did not treat everyone fairly or with dignity. He is also accused of not having order and decorum in proceedings before his court. Elkin has 20 days to file a response to the charges. To see all of these allegations, head over to WTHR.com. More to come. Confidential chats published.
We have new information out today about that security breach involving a Trump administration intelligence officials. That's ahead here at 5:30. But first at 5, 0% contained.
The rapidly growing wildfires up and down the East Coast.
50s today with a couple of showers, 50s again tomorrow, but a warm up is on the way when 70s arrive.
The Indiana Pacers are red hot tonight. They're welcoming in LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. We preview this one coming up on 13 Sports.